We must remember what LBJ said. Art is a nation's most precious heritage, the inner vision which guides, and where there is no vision, the people perish.
It's not only that art transcends politics, it's that I think makes the politics of all of this less important as people start to communicate with each other and bond and engage in common purposes.
Without access to the arts, our own creative expression, the creative expression of other humans, the ability to be curious about each other and hear each other's stories, we can't have a working democracy.
The vision for the NEA began under JFK. It was to decentralize the arts from the great urban areas of America like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles at the time.
Underneath all of that was the firm belief that the arts have something to offer and that none of the other dimensions of government could actually do their best work without the integration of arts, culture, and design.
The National Endowment for the Arts was established to say, we love America, we love American heritage, we want to celebrate the USA and our heritage, and we believe it's important enough that the federal government should have an entity where we can promote this.
It grew in its influence, and I think has played through those 60 years a really central role in this remarkable evolution of nonprofit cultural work.
They realized they didn't want a European system or Latin American system where the Ministry of Culture was an extension of politics. And so they created a different system which gave these institutions independence of the political process.
First Amendment rights had always been very important to me as an actress, freedom of expression, because the arts cannot exist without freedom to create.
I found almost immediately that the staff at the National Endowment for the Arts were so dedicated to connecting people and answering any questions. And we used to adapt a mantra by saying, when you've seen one community, you've only seen one community.
Everywhere I went, I was greeted by people who loved the arts in their backyards. It was the people of America who really let their legislators know from then on that they didn't want this agency gone.
I spent the first 100 days talking to everybody in Washington. I came up with the National Endowment for the Arts was the official arts agency of the U.S. government. It was dedicated to bringing the best of arts and arts education to all Americans. Immediately, our relationship with the public and with Congress changed.
NEA funding goes out to every congressional district across the country. We had a council. To this day, I couldn't tell you the politics of the different members of our council at the NEA. So there's a tremendous history there of bipartisanship or unpartisanship, which I think is very important.
There is something where the public dollars can create a framework for others to participate, whether they're in government or they're in private sectors.
Public agency serves the public. It's just democratic common sense.
The NEA isn't just a funder, it is a national resource. And that our ability to have a national view that allows us to understand what is happening in these extremely diverse communities.
We don't just say, let the marketplace take care of the national parks or the national defense. Arts are something fundamental to who we are, fundamental to our humanity. And we need art that is protected from the demands of the marketplace, of whether it's going to make money or not.
Well, we invest public dollars in the arts because personal creative practice, engaging artistic expression, is a central component of the good life in an American democracy.
And so the idea is obviously, let's celebrate ourselves as a nation, but let's not forget that we all come from somewhere. And we have wonderful local culture as well.
Once you see how many ways from being a culture bearer, from being a way to bring economic vitality and community vitality within a city, a community, and even rural areas, then we start seeing the vast array of ways that the arts permeate our lives and can celebrate and make us feel like we belong.